Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? My name is Cosmos, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, my friends, we're going to be looking at the best weapon loadouts in Fortnite. With these weapon loadouts, you guys are going to be able to get easy kills and also a whole bunch of wins. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as chuck on the notification bell. Can we go ahead and hit 75 likes on this video? If you guys haven't already, smash that like button, see if we can go ahead and hit that. But anyway, I'm going to give you guys 3 different weapon loadouts, and there's going to be one which is a beginner, one which is an intermediate, and one which is a pro setup. Now, these 3 setups don't really have too much difference in between them, but there is some minor differences that do change up a little bit. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this without waiting any longer. So in our beginner weapon loadout right now, we have, first of all, in your first slot. So obviously we get 5 slots to have our weapons, and we're going to make sure that we have these spots wisely. And if you guys aren't sure what to pick up and whether you should use a shotgun or what shotgun you should use, make sure to watch this video. So in our beginner spot, in our first slot right here, you're going to want the SCAR or an AR. Now, I would recommend a SCAR a lot more over an AR, but if you can only get an AR and you can't find SCARs or anything, a blue AR will be fine. But as long as you have one of those 2 in that first slot, you should be right. These will be good for medium to long range encounters. So it's just a very balanced AR that you're going to want to have just to make sure that you're good in those medium range gunfights. Now in your second slot, you're going to want the pump shotgun. Now, obviously, the double pump has been nerfed, so we're not going to be rocking 2 pumps, unfortunately. But in our second slot here, you're going to have the pump shotgun. And you guys are going to be like, a beginner with a pump shotgun, dude? I'm really bad with the pump shotgun. Well, in our next slot, we have the tactical shotgun, which these 2 work really well together. So I actually did a video on it quite a while ago, and I actually talked about you can shoot 1 shot with the pump shotgun, and it basically does like 100 damage or whatever it does, and then you can just go ahead and finish them off with the tactical shotgun. It works really well, and just those 2 pair really well together, so you can go ahead and use them together, and it is really good for beginners, and I recommend using those 2 shotguns together. Using one of them is probably going to be a little worse than using 2, but for the beginners, I recommend using both of these shotguns, and just try and get used to both of them and see how you go. And if you do not like it, if you only like the tackle, if you only like the pump, you can go ahead and follow our next loadouts that are going to be coming up. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in our next spot, I like to have a kind of like a healing supply. So either a med kit, bandages, or shield, something like that. I like to have one of those things in this slot here, just so if I am in the middle of a gunfight, I need to quickly chuck on some mini shields, I'll have them ready to go, and I can just go ahead and chuck them on straight away. So ladies and gentlemen, as long as you have those 4 things there, you'll be left with 1 slot. And this last slot right here, this is a pretty important one, and this is an RPG, grenades, or a grenade launcher. You're going to want some type of explosive which can cause a whole bunch of high damage and also take down buildings. Whatever you can get, I think an RPG would be the best thing to get. If not, get a grenade launcher, and if you can't even find a grenade launcher, go get some grenades. But if you guys can't find any of those, you could just really fill in that spot with maybe another sniper or something like that. But for beginners, probably snipers is not really what you're going to be wanting, as you probably won't be amazing at aiming with it. But next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the intermediate. Now, the intermediate is getting a little bit more tricky here, but okay. In our first slot, once again, we have the SCAR and AR. Now, a SCAR or AR, you're always going to want to have in your first slot, as it is a weapon that you must have, really. You're going to want a SCAR or an AR in your first slot. Now, next up, we have something different here, and this is just the tactical shotgun in our second slot here. Now, instead of having both of them, if you really improve your aim, and you can move up from the beginner to the intermediate, if you really improve your aim and you can consistently get headshots with a tactical shotgun, go ahead, only use a tactical shotgun, and then in your third slot, use an RPG, a grenade launcher, or grenades, something like that. Once again, another explosive weapon, and in those 3 slots there, they're going to be kind of your main 3. Once again, same as the beginner one. In your 4th slot, you're going to want to have a healing supply. But in the last slot right here, I recommend a sniper rifle. So a sniper rifle is, if you're intermediate and you want to use this loadout, a sniper rifle is really, really good, and it can cause high damage, and it can just be absolutely lethal if you can use it right. But make sure you are pretty decent with it until you actually go ahead and use it every single time. But you're going to want to make sure you're pretty decent with it, and maybe just have a little bit of practice. I've actually got a video on the channel. You guys can go check that out. It's one of my recent videos, and it shows you guys some tips and tricks to get better with the sniper rifle. So if you're not so good with it, go check out that video and just tell me that you came from this video and tell me that if you learn anything from that video. But it's just a few, probably about a week back, so probably about 7 videos back. But okay, now ladies and gentlemen, that is our beginner and intermediate slot. I'd also like to say, if you're on PC, for your slot 5, I would recommend you guys to set your hotkey to X. Like, this is what I use. It's one of the best hotkeys. So if you need to quickly switch to your sniper rifle or whatever is in your last slot, you can go ahead and press X and it will instantly switch to that place. So that's really cool. Now in our pro slot here, guys, this is the pro. This is what I either use, the intermediate or the pro, but it really just depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I even go ahead and use the beginner. Just because you guys are, just say you guys are pros, it doesn't mean that you can't use the beginner or the intermediate. It's really just what you use. I use a lot of these ones, and it really is, they're all really good, so that's why they're all in this video, but I just put these in like kind of skills, so the skill to use them. So beginner, for example, you don't need that much skill to use it. Intermediate, you need a little bit more skill, and pro, you need a little bit more skill than intermediate. So in our pro, I have once again the SCAR or AR. You're gonna want one of them. Once again, the SCAR is gonna be ideal. If you have a SCAR, that's going to be absolutely amazing. But next up, we have a pump shotgun. Now, only use the pump shotgun if you are amazing with it. If you can hit every shot, use the pump shotgun, because if you hit every shot, you're going to win every gunfight. But if you miss a shot, it's really going to disadvantage you in the gunfight, and that's, if you keep missing shots, I would recommend just using the tac shotgun. But it is really tricky to use. If you guys have watched Ninja, he uses the one pump shotgun all the time, and it's absolutely lethal. What he does now is he uses the pump shotgun, he gets one hit with that, and then he switches back to his AR, and just finishes off with that. Now, if you have a SCAR in your AR slot, you're going to absolutely tear up. So you can get one shot with the pump shotgun, switch back to the SCAR, and then you're just going to absolutely melt them. Now, in our third slot, again, we have an explosive weapon, so either your RPG or something like that. Fourth slot, healing supply. Once again, just like all the other ones, you're always going to want to have healing no matter what loadout you run. And the last one, we have the sniper rifle. Pretty simple there, ladies and gentlemen. These are 3 different loadouts that I recommend you guys to use. Which one of these are your favorite inside of Fortnite? Make sure you guys do tell me in the comment section below. Anyway, without waiting any longer, I'll end off the video there. If you guys haven't already, drop a like on the video as well as subscribing to the channel. Also, check on that notification bell to stay up to date with all of my content coming in the future. Anyway, without waiting any longer, see you guys in the next one. Peace.